Good evening, friends. Dr. Nikhil Agrawal, CEO, First and C3I Innovation Hub. Welcome to the third edition of C3I Hub webinar at IIT Kanpur. We have a very specific focus topic of this webinar. We want to focus on our startup program and policy. And we want to throw this webinar forum for open house to all the respective guests who have joined this webinar. I want to do a starter introduction first with our CEO, Dr. Nikhil Agrawal. Dr. Nikhil Agrawal is currently the CEO of Foundation for Innovation and Research in Science and Technology and also C3I Innovation Hub. Dr. Nikhil Agrawal has served as a high-level advisor to United Nations Global Alliance on ICT and Development between 2008-12, a board member between 2008 and 12, and a board member at World Entrepreneurship Forum and Open Mind Foundation, respectively. He was nominated as Fellow of IC2 Institute at the University of Texas at Austin. And Dr. Nikhil Agrawal is alumnus of University of Cambridge and University of Edinburgh in United Kingdom. And myself, Ranjit Mishra, I serve as Chief Industry Relations Officer at C3I Innovation Hub, IIT Kanpur. I have worked in the industry for the last 21 years and primarily focusing on cybersecurity for the last 11 years. And I head the industry collaborations and the R&D collaborations as well as the startup program. And I work closely with Dr. Nikhil Agrawal. With this introduction, I would like to pass on the dais to Dr. Nikhil Agrawal with his welcoming speech and keynote, and then we can proceed with the further discussions on this program on webinar.
So thanks a lot, Ranjit. Thanks and welcome everyone who has joined us today from all across the world. Certainly, we are going through a very tough time. I was quite happy a few weeks back that when the lockdown restrictions were opening up, we were trying to get into the normal. In fact, one of my friends called up from Central Europe. He said, "Oh, how's the COVID situation in India?" And I asked him the question jokingly, "What is COVID?" So that was situation in at least in Delhi and NCR, that the COVID was vanishing. Nobody was wearing masks. People were again going back to the normal way of life. We were socializing, and suddenly things have changed. Same thing if you look at the cybersecurity as a COVID analogy, same situation goes on. So one fine day, for years and years, the NSE Security Exchange is working fine. And then you logged in to do your trade for 5 hours straight. The most secured, one of the most secured exchanges in the country, one of the most traded exchange in the world, stopped working. The another situation, if you look at the parallel, Mumbai, which is the financial hub of the country, has gone on the grid failure. And that grid failure is not, though we can say, oh, India, we have technological failures and something must have happened in the grid. But that was not the case. It was a different situation. We all know what situation it is. And I can quote examples after examples, which is certainly, and this morning I was sitting with today myself and Ranjit both are incidentally traveling to Hyderabad, where we are connecting to our respected rooms. So this morning we met the principal secretary of transport, Mr. Sunil Sharma. He's a special chief secretary, and he was sharing the same concern. Today the transport department is collecting a lot of data by clicking the photographs, checking the violations and other things. And imagine some kind of security violations happen, and all the data is being jargled, and because everything is now online. So he himself was not very happy with this current situation of the servers, of the protection and other thing. And this is echoed by organization after organization. We are very concerned about it. Certainly, because maybe India is not a financial power as it should be, because we are still relatively a smaller economy. Our cyber threat is little less, but that does not make us completely safe. Imagine that the Prime Minister is talking about 5 trillion economy by 2030, though due to certain situation, it may be possible or it may be delayed. But once you are starting to become a very large economy, your financial transactions are huge. Your digitization, dependence on digitization is huge. Your grids and your network completely worked on the internet. At that time, we will become more and more vulnerable. The cyber security is directly proportional to national security as well as financial security. Now, both the side, whether it's national security side, whether it's financial security side, we may not be at the best position. As far as the government data is concerned, uh, same situation. Government data is unsafe. You enter into any government office and try to bug anything, which is absolutely possible. Even today, the majority of the government people work on Gmail. You speak to any minister or secretary, chances are very bright they will give you their Gmail ID, which is accessed by some fourth person or fifth person, and all the critical documentation is being sent on that email ID, and that too accessed by a mobile phone, which is maybe third P or fourth PA is accessing it. The email IDs are shared between the people. The senior most secretary email ID will be shared between the people. If there is a notification coming from the CM office, it will be shared between the 3 or 4 people. They can all open up that particular email ID on their mobile phone or something. Now that situation is certainly not welcomed. What we should do about it? So these are the number of challenges that we face across the country, whether you pick up the public sector, whether you pick up the private sector, whether you even think of education and institution. Millions of people, millions of individuals, citizens, students, their data is very vulnerable, and we keep on hearing examples after examples. Now, we are, as I have said, that at IIT Kanpur, we are very concerned about it, and we are finding ways to protect ourselves, because data, I am not sure whether we will get the nuclear war, because if we get the nuclear war, then certainly you and me are not speaking, given the current armament across the world, because we all will be dead most likely. But the next big war will be a cyber war. It could start as a smaller battle, one party attacking other party for financial gain or for some kind of information gain, some kind of power play. Those things are happening. So we need consistent, we need our own hardware, we need our own software to safeguard ourselves. There was reports about Huawei. There were reports about other Chinese companies that there is an inbuilt Trojan inbuilt hardware located, which can be triggered at any point of time, which can compromise our network. It could be true, it cannot be, I don't know, because nobody is able to find that answer as of now, though there are certain people who claims that. But the question remains same, that are we ourselves forever dependent on the foreign technology, or we will build up on our own? So once the Rafale, if you recall, a couple of months back, people were all happy-dory that the Rafale has come from France. But many of us said that, what's so great about it? You got the money and you bought the best of the car, like it's buying a Mercedes by going to a dealer. But do Tata Motors has capabilities of building a car, or Mahindra has a capability of building a car which can compete with Mercedes, and we can use it at our own place. Same thing goes in cybersecurity. Currently, majority of the technology or hardware or software that we are using is all imported. Can we build up capabilities? Today, we have built up a $200 billion software services industry, but unfortunately, we have missed the bus on product side. But can we become a leader in cybersecurity products? Can we become the leader in cybersecurity hardware? That is something which we are trying to do here at C3I Hub. So it's cybersecurity and cybersecurity of cyber physical system, where we are focusing on the critical infrastructure, not only safeguarding ourselves, but building the product which can be truly called Atmanirbhar product. So today we have a brilliant team that is working at C3I Hub, led by Professor Manindra Agarwal, Padma Shri, first Infosys Prize, one of the most celebrated professors in the country, Professor Sandeep Shukla. Again, all his life he has worked in New York universities, came back to India to serve the motherland. Today he is here, and host of brilliant PhD researchers, team members, other people who are working continuously to come up with new solutions, new ideas. Now we want you. We want you to come up with new ideas and new technologies so that you can not only use our labs and you can use our infrastructure, but also we will provide you certain funding, which will allow you to build up a prototype which can be sold to whether it's inside the country, domestic use, or for the outside. So our vision is that can we become the number one, the way that we have become the largest cyber IT services industry in the world in just 20, 25 years, can we become the number one cybersecurity hub for software as well as hardware product in the few years to come. So with this, I will stop and I will request my colleague Ranjit Mishra to come and show you a brief presentation on what are the opportunities that is available at IIT Kanpur. I would say what are the generous opportunities that are available at IIT Kanpur. And in the end of the session, we'll be happy to take up your questions. Meanwhile, if you have any questions or queries, you can use the chat button down. You can put your queries there. We will try to get the queries. This is not a very long session in terms of presentation. Only Ranjit will speak for 10 minutes. The next 30-40 minutes, we will just take Q&A. So kindly join and ask as many questions as you can. Look forward again. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you for your very elaborate status of our cybersecurity in India. So, as Nikhil mentioned, please put your questions in the Q&A chat box, and so that we can, take one by one after I complete my presentation. All right. So, I just want to give you a background on, how C3I Innovation Hub has formulated. So, it is basically part of National Mission of Interdisciplinary Cyber-Physical System under Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. So, this project has been funded by DST, Government of India, and Government of India has, seen the challenges, and they foresee that in critical infrastructure, India has to build up indigenous technology, and to address the issue of cybersecurity in cyber physical system, we have to have basically, we need to have our own companies in India developing these technologies. So that has been the, background to formulate C3I Innovation Hub. What are the key objectives of C3I Innovation Hub? Primarily, we are focusing upon 4 objectives. The first one is we are inviting the R&D proposals from different professors or faculties from all technology institutes in India for focusing on developing and co-developing new technologies under cybersecurity and cybersecurity of cyber physical system. The second key objective is to incubate new startups for co-developing indigenous technologies. Third is partnership program with industries, again, to develop new technologies for end customers for all these industries. And fourth, which is last but not the least, we have, we'll have theoretical as well as hands-on program for researchers and cybersecurity professionals. Some of the existing partnership, as Nikhil was mentioning about one of the lab which we have set up at IIT Kanpur. It's called C3I Center. This is the first of its kind lab for cybersecurity and cyber defense of critical infrastructure. So we have physical OEM driven equipments which are integrated, and we have formed power grid, we have formed water treatment, we have formed industrial automation. all of them on the back end of OT, ICS SCADA network, and where we not only test the equipments of these OEMs, but also the softwares or new application which comes on the critical infrastructure network. First, which again, Dr. Nikhil Agrawal heads as a CEO, is a technology business incubator. Technopark, primarily industry collaboration enabler, which has a lot of offices where, you know, any of the industry or any of the companies can set up their R&D or any of their, you know, extension office at IIT Kanpur. In terms of the startup, which is our key focus area for today's discussion, for next 5 years, we will be going to incubate 125 startups. Every year we could do focus on 25 startups, which will be selected through a process. Part of these startups will be providing 12 lakhs as part of the salary for the founders. This will be for the period of 2 years. 10 lakhs as seed grant for each selected startups. Then once they all qualify, get to do the POC, minimum viable product stage, then based on the successful POCs at customer side and recommendation of the selection committee, they'll be eligible for additional funding of 1 CR. Obviously, when you incubate with IIT Kanpur, you definitely get an access to the world-class infrastructure, not only at IIT Kanpur, but also at our Global Innovation Center, which is the outreach center in Noida Sector 62, which is a 5-acre campus. Then obviously you have an access to all other labs, including cybersecurity labs and other facilities, which could be sort of, which would be helpful in developing your new technologies at IIT Kanpur and also Noida campus. Then the biggest strength with working with IIT Kanpur would be the mentorship, technically and on the business front. And that will be through the alumni network, through the our industry professionals, which are part of our collaborations, and also you have an access to the pool of research associates, the MTech students, and many other undergraduate students, basically. With this, I think so. I have I had to sort of I would basically open up the dais for the Q&A. And apart from this, have any other questions, you can either raise your hand or you can put it on the chat box.
So I think there is already a few questions. Let me take a couple of questions. And so Arvind Mathur is what is the commercial model for taking this through IIT? Does IIT board have a stake in the business? If yes, how much? Okay. So the IIT, as a policy of IIT, do take a stake in every incubated business. For the reason is that a couple of benefits which are not mentioned here and which comes as a part of the IIT Kanpur network is that any incubated company which is coming on board and which comes through our process have access to our all the infrastructure. So infrastructure means, of course, like physical infrastructure, like library and computer lab and everything, but the labs. So labs are the most important infrastructure that we can offer to a startup. And some of these labs are cutting edge labs, which even none of the companies like Infosys and TCS can afford to have it. Hundreds of crores have been invested in developing those labs. We have hardware labs, we have Imagineering labs, we have medtech facility, we have, of course, cybersecurity labs, and any startup can access those labs exactly the same way it is available to any IIT Kanpur faculty member. So there is no difference between a startup and a faculty member. So we are treated in equivalent with a professor when it comes to IIT Kanpur infrastructure. So that's a benefit. So that's the reason we provide a very active mentorship. We help you in raising money, and any startup which comes through this process, from day one we commit a 22 lakhs as a funding. which breakups of that funding is around 50,000 rupees as a salary support for any of the founder, one founder or two founders for up to 2 years, 10 lakh rupees for the POC. Now the second round, after a year or so, we will again review you, and if you are qualified in the review, because there is a pyramidal structure, some of the startups will be offered 1 crore rupees as a follow-up funding. Now, once the follow-up funding is done, then there is already exist a network of, because we are one of the oldest and the largest incubator in the country, we already have a significant funding available through various agencies, private sector, public sector, government agencies, that is there. So you have access to that. So any company which, in fact, I'm just repeating what my other colleagues say in other places. If any company which shows an outstanding potential, working hard, can raise anything between 1 crore to 5 crores within 2 years' time through our network itself. You don't have to go outside. That comes from the funding, initial funding part, the seed capital. Now, if you still shows great potential, and if you feel that there is a need for more funding, many of our alumni and close associates run very big funds, including Indian Angel Network, Cornerstone Capital, Sequoia, Excel Partner. These are all run by our alumni and our friends. We can open up doors in getting funding from there. And that does not, the third benefit is that you can hire PhD scholars, you can hire MTech students, you can hire BTech students from IIT to work with you. So the talent, which is the world's best, probably one of the best talents that is available to you at the arm's length. So that kind of benefit, I think, is pretty good. So that's the reason we do charge equity. Now, depending on the level of your company. So let's say your company is absolutely new. So level of your company, and depending on new company, middle company, company at the acceleration stage or growth stage, we charge anything between 3% to 9% equity. And please remember that the equity goes to IIT Kanpur. There is no individual beneficiary. The money that we earn, so normally this money is invested for a few years. And once you do start raising the money, this fund is diluted, we exit. And the money which comes to us, just now, in fact, a couple of days back, we have signed a deal to sell. We have 3% equity with one company. They were raising 20 crores and they asked us to exit from our equity, and we exited for 3% for 50 lakhs. So we exited. Now, what will happen to that money? 50 lakhs is not a profit of an individual, but 50 lakhs comes as a seed fund back to IIT Kanpur, which we reinvest in some of other companies. So it is a cyclic process. So being a government institution, there is no single beneficiary. It goes back to the ecosystem, and more companies we can support. So we are in the process of building up a corpus. So if you guys do pretty well, maybe in few years down the line, we can have a corpus of 100 crores. Now imagine 100 crores being invested in the future companies again and again in cybersecurity. The kind of jobs, the kind of impact, the kind of quality innovation that will happen will be phenomenal. So that's the reason we do charge equity. So just to last answer in the last one line, we do charge equity anything between 9% to 3% to 9%, if depending on the level of development that you have. So now there is another question Sherry has asked. Can you tell us more about the kind of startup that will be preferred for the program and what stage we would be on? So stage wise, you can be a PPT startup, like you have just an idea as of now. So we any idea which is a good idea, which is a brilliant idea, we welcome. It could be one PPT. You say, okay, I am in the process of developing this PPT. I will register this PPT in the future, which is absolutely fine. And you want to form a company in the future, that is absolutely acceptable. What will be what kind of startup will be preferred? So we have listed down certain topics which are also conveyed to us by our funding agency. So these are the broad topics. Again, it is not subject to the topic which is verbatim. You can do something similar. You can say, okay, the reason I have chosen this particular startup. So a startup is mainly selected on following criteria. The first is the idea, how disruptive the idea is. It could be software idea, it could be the hardware idea, it could be anything. How good is the team? What is the team capabilities? What is your passion? What is your commitment to the startup? Are you just doing a startup on a part-time basis, or you are fully committed to it? You really want to build a startup into a great solution provider. You want to build up a unicorn. So what is your vision? And third is that, are you able to solve a critical problem, which could be related to education institution, health, defense, anything? Are you able to solve any problem? So those couple of things which matters when we look at the startup as a whole. And you can be on any stage, you are welcome to apply. We don't discriminate between a company which is maybe making a PPT, just made a PPT yesterday and idea is superb, but he does not have a capability, he does not have maybe team members, or may not have a right approach, or looking for mentorship. You are welcome. We will work with you, and together we will figure it out. The company which is already making certain revenues, but they are stuck up in the process. They are already having clients, they are having offices, they have having employees, they have some idea, but they're stuck up in the process, because anybody can stuck up in the process. Even the large company do stuck up in the process. You are welcome. We will work with you. So everybody is welcome. It is an open process, and there is no discrimination between a growth company or ideation company or just a PPT company. And you don't have to register a company now. If you don't have a company now, you don't need to rush to register a company. If you are selected, we will give you time, we will give you assistance, we will give you guidance to register a company. And we have full legal cell, we have full IP cell, which will help you in navigating each and every steps of your startup.
Just to add on to Dr. Nikhil's point on what kind of startups. So if you look at our call for application link, there are 25 domains in IT security and primarily in a cyber domain. You can select either one of them or any other, basically. So in cyber, it's a very large domain. So anything, any idea which pertains to cybersecurity, are eligible to apply.
Yeah. So the another question Yash has is, do we have access to cloud service provider credits? Like, yes, we do have. We have, I think we have a sign up with AWS. If I'm not wrong, please don't hang me for that. But I think we will provide $10,000 to start with, and we are working very closely with Amazon to increase that credits. So certainly, if brilliant people like you come, I'm sure Amazon will be not only just provide you credit, it will actually give you credit, money credit. That is more important. So I'm quite sure about it.
Yeah. It's another question from Subhashish Mukhopadhyay. I've applied for a startup. When can I expect the presentation for any update regarding the status of the same? Subhashish, we have extended the date of application till 31st. And after 31st, we'll start the process. So probably in the month of April, we'll be calling each one of those shortlisted candidate for the presentation.
So Yash has another question about, do we need to have a cybersecurity expert in the founding team to qualify for this incubation? No. Certainly, if you have a capability, it is always welcome. But a lot of best industrialists in the world may not be the most technologically qualified one. If you are smart and if you can build up a team, if you demonstrate that you have an ability to build up a team, because today you can have knowledge about one product or a tool or a service, but that can get obsolete in the future. So, but as a CEO or as a founder of a startup, if you have the ability to build up a team and you can sustain the team, that means you can become a successful founder. That is something which we will look for. And we believe in your ability, then certainly why not? You can not only build up the current requirement, but you can also build up the future requirements.
Tapendra Dev, may I know by when we can expect the results? So again, we all have applied, but we also, sort of foreseeing some more applications by 31st March. So in the month of April, we'll start calling, for all the shortlisted candidates, basically.
So before 10th, you will receive your status of the application, whether you are selected for the first round or not. And then we will also send you a schedule about the second round presentation, which will be a detailed presentation in front of a expert panel, which will consist of few of our internal members, few of our external experts. The presentation will be anything between 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And you will have an opportunity of giving a very detailed overview, what is going on, your technology, your business plan and everything. And depending on the performance in that PPT in your presentation, you may be asked to submit more documents, or else you can be advised. So Arvind has a question about what are the key benchmarks in the growth of a company that is invested into? Any hard KPIs that need to be fulfilled before the journey starts? So answer is, it depends on you. Certainly there is no key benchmarks in the growth of a company that is invested to. Any hard KPIs. We don't know, because we don't know your company, we don't know your team, we don't know your product. So we don't know your KPIs. So I cannot say it's a hard KPI or soft KPI. It's your company. You have to decide. These questions are better answered by the founders than us, because we are just we are only incubated. We will get to know maybe once we hear your idea in detail. But at this stage, it will be very challenging to give this answer that how hard the KPI would be and what is your idea. In fact, I don't even know what is your idea as of now.
There's a question from Sudeep Saxena. How will you differentiate between idea stage startups and startups who have been there for 2 to 3 years, who already have a validated idea and are close to product stage? Nikhil, you want to take this?
Sorry, what do we?
How do we? This is in the Q&A chat box. How will you differentiate between idea stage startup and startups which have been there in the market for 2 to 3 years?
So a couple of parameters that you can see is like 2 to 3 years. Again, 2 to 3 years, you could be at the product stage. You can be just doing a POC or developing a POC. So company in the market does not mean that company you are making profit. So you need to demonstrate. Again, I cannot answer this question is that until as we see your business plan, we see your revenues. So are you making revenue? My question would be, how much revenue you are making? How much money that you have already invested? What's your team size? How many products do you have? Do you have any workable prototype? Any client is willing to buy or willing to test your prototype? Have you raised any seed or investment? What is your order book? So those questions will be there once you say, okay, the company in the market for 2 to 3 years. 3-year company could be very large company. Like recently, there's a company called Zerodha. In 1 year time, it has become unicorn. So certainly the question does not come to Zerodha because it is a large, it has more than 4 million customers and a unicorn status less than in 1.5 years. Nitin Kamath is doing a brilliant job. So this question depends on the company to company. And I know a number of companies which are still doing a POC. They are working on their experiments. They are working on their research. They are still in the lab. So certainly that company cannot be set into the market. So this question need to be more elaborate once you say the market stage or what stage.
So probably, I think, Nikhil, also what I understand from his question is that if there are 2 ideas, one idea is at idea stage and the other one has been validated through POC or a close to product stage. So how do you differentiate? So probably that
which product, which idea that you are applying, which so you can, as I have said, you can think of incubating the entire company, or you can say, okay, I will hive off this idea and convert into another company in the future. Those things can be discussed at a 1-to-1 stage. At this, without getting into the detail of your idea or a company, it will be a hypothetical question to answer.
Yeah. Other question is, what are the opportunities of collaboration on newer areas in cybersecurity or new research at IIT Kanpur? We are a startup already in cyber automation for SOC. We would want to extend this to industry security applications. And IIT Kanpur has such a lab. So yeah, I mean, we are open for the collaborations, Sudeep. And it's all depends upon what you propose and how do what are the synergies that can be between your existing setup and how you want to leverage our existing lab. So that all depends upon how do you propose, and based on our mutual discussion, we can decide that.
So one is anonymous question about what will be the selection process timeline. So timeline would be anything between, so now let's say we close the application on 31st March. So I would say within 15-20 days, your presentation should be over. If there is, certainly the only challenge we will face is the availability of the experts, because we are, as per our constitution, we have to have external experts and market experts. So that's something which we need to see but we are trying that within 2 to 3 weeks, your stage is over. And then immediately after that, we will tell you whether you're qualified to get incubated or not. And then we will start the process of incubation, which can take some time because there's a legal agreement, there is a share transfer, there is a fund transfer to your account. All these things has to happen. And again, depending on your company stage, whether you are a registered company or you are still in idea stage, or you have applied for certain certifications or not. So those things we will see. All legal formalities needed to be done. But as soon as you are informed about that, whether you are selected, you can immediately start working. That's something which I can guarantee, is that you will immediately have an access to the infra or people or other mentors that you are requiring. Immediately you will get it. Only the legal time, whatever time it takes. Like, ultimately we are also the custodian of the government money. So we have to get the paperwork right before we release any funds to you or before we get incubated to you. So those may take a couple of weeks, but it should be pretty fast.
Yeah. Another question is, do you help start us develop POC? Who owns the IP in such a case?
Absolutely. So we are in fact, we have close to 700 IPs filed with IIT Kanpur, and that includes C3I Hub. So we have a complete IPR cell, dedicated IPR cell, qualified people. If you have any IP to be filed, we'll help you in filing the IP, drafting the IP, not only in India, but also abroad, depending on what is the requirement is. Absolutely, we'll do it. And we will, one of the role of the incubator is to help you not only developing the POC, but successfully testing that POC at a client stage.
So, who owns the IP in such a case? So, that's the question.
The company will own the IP until if you have taken a help of a research lab or a professor, which is deeply involved, then again, that's a deal between you and a professor. IP is owned by a company. You are developing an IP, you are owning the IP. But depending, let's say if you have a team of 5 people. Now 5 people, that includes a IIT Kanpur professor, IIT Kanpur researchers. Then again, it's a team. So you may have to put the name of all the team members into the IP, but that is individual activity. There's nothing to do with the incubation activity.
Who would it be allowed to improve or resubmit our reports or proposals since the timeline has been extended? Yes, I think so. If you want to resubmit, you are most welcome. And we have another 9 days to go. So you are most welcome to resubmit a proposal.
Yeah, you can resubmit, and you can just say in the note that I'm resubmitting. Kindly discard my earlier material, or I'm submitting the supplementary material. If you have some additional material to submit, which you have forgotten to submit, or if you feel there is an improvement, that is fine. That is fine. Till the time, midnight, 31st March, you have time. You can press button anytime. You are welcome. That way we are very flexible. If you watch, even at the time of the presentation, you think that after 15 days, let's say there is a presentation, you have submitted some material to us and say, hey, I thought this slide will be very important, but this slide was not there in my earlier deck, which I have submitted. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Because see, we also understand startups are going through an ideation phase. It takes time to develop an idea. It does not, there nothing is carved in the stone. You are developing an idea, you are developing a thought process, and it's a slow, cumbersome process. Your idea get evolved. Sometimes your idea works, sometimes your idea, you disregard an idea. That is again your choice. You can do that. But certainly at the time of presentation, you need to be firm on one particular idea. Otherwise, experts will ask like, why you are flickering here and there. That may be a little negative. So think over it and finalize one idea. All ideas are good idea if the execution is good. That is my belief is. Like I was speaking to somebody other day, they said, which is the best idea? Which is the, what is the future of technology, or what is the best idea that you can think of which can become a $1 billion company or $1 trillion company? I said, you found another Facebook. You know, it's as simple as that. Now, this, I am holding a $1.5 trillion company in my hand. It's called Apple. Can you replace Apple? Can you create another $1.5 trillion company? That's a big idea. Somebody will do it. But are you the guy to do it? So every idea is a great idea if you have, you know that how to disrupt, if you know how to create a product which will disrupt. These are very new companies. Like Apple was just, you can think of like 20, 30 years back, Steve Jobs was struggling with bankruptcy. And today Steve Jobs is an icon. Mark Zuckerberg probably was like in his Andes when Steve Jobs was struggling with bankruptcy. I still recall that 15 years back, Mark Zuckerberg started working on his idea. Sachin Bansal, Binny Bansal, I just talked about Nitin Kamath. Nitin Kamath was the guy like you who was struggling for his idea, Zerodha, and suddenly he's the talk of the town. Paytm, Shekhar, Shekhar was struggling for money, penny after penny 10 years back. And I just met a guy who was saying like, oh, they used to sit in an office because his office was not good enough to be called for a meeting. So he used to come his friend's office. And today his worth is $12 billion. It's just 10 years back. Not like 10 years, you can remember your life. It is not far. You can still remember what happened in the cricket and what happened in the football. So these are the people who have made it big in front of your eyes. So your ideas can evolve, your things can evolve. But if you believe that you can do it, I'm sure nobody else can do it, you will do it.
Another question from Partha Majumdar. We have been able to build products. However, we have been failing as our marketing is weak. Also, when we get through, we cannot produce references. What kind of support can we expect to overcome this?
So you can, my suggestion would be that you can choose mentors who will help you in marketing. Marketing is a tough nut to crack. It is not easy. Very few companies are able to create, and it's the challenge with the engineers are sometimes they are not very good marketers. So you can choose mentors. You can recruit team members who understand the marketing, who can, you can create, you can develop a, you can in fact invite 1 or 2 team members as a co-founders. Those, all the things you can do very easily. So those things will help you out. There are people who are willing to work with you. So certainly, so don't worry about that. Everybody do that. Like nobody is a perfect marketing plan, my dear. Everybody is like struggling somewhere or other. So I think one other question, couple of questions have come in the chat. So I'll just read out to them. Do we need to be incubation center in Kanpur to participate? I am asked because of the anticipation. No, you don't need to be at the Kanpur center to participate. But if you need to access the lab, you have to be at Kanpur because lab cannot travel. Unfortunately, they are fixed onto the ground. So you have to come to the Kanpur to access the labs. But you can incubate at our Noida center. You can also incubate virtually. But the best benefit you will get it once you are in Kanpur because the hardware labs are there.
Yeah. What other startups are currently part of the C3I program? I think so. If we don't have, this is the first program we have launched for cybersecurity.
We recently got funding from the government. This is the part of $24 million funding that we got from the Department of Science and Technology. So the funding has come only last year. So there is the first round of startup that we are recruiting currently. So there are no startups. However, in the IIT ecosystem, there are cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, defense startups that exist. At SIIC, we have 100+ startups today. which makes us one of the largest incubators in the country in tech side, tech incubator in the country. So you will find all kind of people like in IoT, in robotics, in unmanned aerial vehicles, in agri-tech, medtech. You will find all these people roaming around who are part of the ecosystem. Specifically, they may not be working on cybersecurity, but you can work with them in finding solutions to how their devices can use your capabilities and your capabilities can be used by somebody else.
Yeah. Can a company submit ideas for two parallel products? Will that be seen as two separate businesses or companies?
The answer is yes and no. The reason I'm saying yes and no is that, let's say one of your ideas is selected, one is not selected, then there is no problem. But both of your ideas selected, then we will suggest that, because see, forming a company is the easiest process in life. Let me tell you, what the government today is saying that you can open up a company in 24 hours, which is absolutely correct. But what they are not telling is, if you wish to close a company, it will be a nightmare for you. Absolute nightmare for you. If you want to close a company somehow, it can take anything between 24 months to 48 months to close a company. So my suggestion is that if you have two products, but founders are same, people are same, put it in the same company. That would make more sense rather than just having legal hassle, because you have to do compliance, you have to pay to the chartered accountant, you have to pay the company secretary, you have to hire your legal guy, you have to file GST, you have to do this, you have to do that, you will go crazy. Just so that one company is good enough if that is successful.
Yeah. For startups on ideation stage, how can we get industry knowledge on the kind of threats that companies face? How can industry mentors give us insight on practical scenarios? I can answer this, Nikhil. So, we part of us, we have shown you that a part of the key objectives, we are also collaborating with industry on their current challenges with respect to their end customers. So all the big groups like HCL Technology, L&T, all these big groups are working with us on real challenges which they have with respect to critical and IT/OT and many other cybersecurity. So probably, when you guys incubate with us, a lot of those real challenges, real world scenario challenges will probably, can get access to those challenges. And also, these experts can definitely, we can give an access to our all incubated startups for, day-to-day discussions, or basically, we can have those rounds of discussions anytime industry guys, want to have those with you guys.
So yes, so the Yash Vyas is asking question. We have submitted one idea. Can we submit another one? You are most welcome. Please do submit. More and more ideas demonstrate that you are thinking, you are interested, you are passionate about it. Most welcome, without any problem. So I think a couple of questions are also here. Partha has a question. We have a product.
That we've covered, I think so, in the marketing.
Deep Saxena says thanks. Vishwanath Reddy says, can individual innovator patent pending idea for user authentication can apply? Absolutely yes. Whether it is patent pending or it is patent being granted, idea is an idea. If that is not in the market, or even if in the market, that I have said, you require some more support. So incubation. So we are a broad-based incubator. We are not an accelerator. We are not an ideator. So we are a broad-based incubator. We have access to ideation level companies as well as the high growth companies, either way. So you are welcome to apply.
Right. And then more or less, we have covered most of the queries, Nikhil. So probably with this, if, I think so, what I'll do is that, you can I'll put it in the chat box, our info email. So you can send other queries if you're not able to, share your queries on this forum. But definitely, we look forward for all your queries on the.
And if you have any questions or anything, just let us know. You are welcome, and please do ask questions. And I look forward meeting you all for our first cohort. Because you have shown that you all are here online tonight. So I'm sure that you are all interested. You have some brilliant ideas. So it is a learning for us too. Some of these brilliant ideas we also don't think. So once you guys come in, it will be a great group to co-learn. because some of the things we know and most of the things we don't know. We will know it through you. So it is a co-learning exercise. It will be, I am sure we will have a ball of a time, and let's create some really blockbuster innovative products in cybersecurity in India.
Thank you, Dr. Nikhil, and thank you all for participating in this webinar. And we look forward for a beautiful and fruitful collaborations, and looking forward for these good ideas transforming into big companies for future.
One more last question has come. I think just
Sure.
popped in.
You can take that.
He was asking if we have to work out of IIT Kanpur, will we get access to any hostel or stay facility? Yes, you can get it both at Noida, both at Kanpur. We have facility for an office as well as stay. You can apply and you most likely will get it. So yes, answer is yes for both the situation. Of course, you cannot, it will be a nice, comfortable hostel, and you have access to best sports facility you can dream of, best infrastructure, best library. If the campus are normally today, because of COVID, the campuses are closed for almost a year, but when the campus opens, it is a vibrant community, 7,000 people across 1,000 acre. So you can imagine the ho-halla and the kind of interaction that you will have on the campuses will be like, you will really enjoy yourself. That's what I can say.
All right.
So yeah, so meeting will be on, no, IIT Roorkee, we are not part of IIT Roorkee. So certainly we will not go to IIT Roorkee. This is IIT Kanpur, Arvind, if you have mistaken. IIT Roorkee, unfortunately, does not do much work in cybersecurity.
Yeah, I think probably it's
so it will be online session.
Zoom,
given it will be challenging for you guys. Like we would love to meet you face to face. In fact, myself and Ranjit are exactly same place, but he's sitting in another room, I am sitting in another room, and we are using the same Wi-Fi. So you can see that people are even at the same place. We do share. We are using Zoom, and I think it's working fine. So as of now, it will be Zoom based. But once you are incubated, maybe we will invite you for a face-to-face interaction
for the agreement signing. Yeah, for the agreement signing, probably we'll have to call you face-to-face at a later stage. All right. Thank you, Dr. Nikhil. Thank you all. Yeah. Good night to all. Thank you. Thank you again.